Hi, Terrisa. Welcome to my little session on cooking with love.
Very nice to be here.
I'm so glad you joined me today. I've been really looking forward to having this conversation with you because I have to say I'm going to use a Trini word here, macking your page for a long, for a long time now. Um, I mean, I will give you a little bit of history on me finding you because I first was looking for vegetarian bacon shack. Well, I can't really call it bacon shack, but like a vegetarian
Yeah.
person. And I found you on YouTube. And then after I thought, you know what, I really have to follow this one because then I started looking at your Instagram page and I saw all the amazing recipes and just the not just the local stuff that you do, but I think also the wide range of things that you've been experimenting with also and and of course it just looks phenomenal. I can only imagine how it tastes. It must taste awesome. So yeah, so this kind of led me to having this this conversation with you. But again, thank you so much for joining me today and taking some time out to have this conversation. So tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I am 31 years young, a mom of one, right? I think the question would be more food wise. I consider myself to be a foodie creative, which is,
I love
basically
that.
someone who is not just, well, it didn't start off as a job at all. It was just really just cooking for the fun, the love of it. And it kind of over the course of, I don't even know how long it took, but it was a few years and it started to blossom into somewhat of a job. People requesting certain things after I would cook for friends and that kind of thing. And as I went along and started to explore, um, how should I put it? Started to explore different types of food. I realized how much I enjoy doing it, the plating, the presentation. So it's not just so much so the cooking of the food, but
Yeah.
the art that comes with it, the look of it, the taste, the smell, the different textures, all these different things.
I noticed that because I really love how you display the food. I think, also with the presentation, it just really, if your eyes can eat, really, I mean, your food looks amazing. Um, so I think that's something I think I'm still learning as well, even with my own dishes and putting them out there, is that, how we present them and how we display them is also, I think, key. But
This is actually closer, but I have apparently all the noises possible that could show up today.
well, I
I got
think the
just
viewers need to
passing.
know that you're actually in Trinidad.
So
So,
there's just passing it back. So you may hate when it passes back again.
yeah, that's all right. The more noise, we're a vibrant people. We like a bit of noise. Yeah. So again, with the recipes and the recipe development, but this is actually I think what really interested me because obviously you have a great handle I think on making local cuisine. But what really inspired you to sort of get involved with this like what you said before I think with that whole creativeness in just trying different things. What really inspired you to do that?
Um, it was I think for a while, even though I enjoyed cooking, I didn't really venture outside of the box. I would just do the same. So people would ask and I say, oh, I can't bake. I'm not a baker, or I'm not good at desserts. And then I kind of was forced to try some different things because I developed a milk allergy fairly recently, maybe about 2, 3 years ago.
Mm.
And because I love cheese, because a lot of my recipes include milk, I kind of was forced to look outside of the box and try different things. And then when you start trying the new things and you realize how well they work and when you challenge yourself and you may look at something and think that's something I would never eat or that's not something I would ever be good at making, and then you do it and it comes out amazing. It kind of encourages you to try more, and even try to probably change up somewhat the regular things. I remember there was a time I made what was it? A curry fried wings with a pumpkin
Ooh.
chutney, and it was like amazing. But people were skeptical, and that kind of encouraged me to continue trying different things because you never know, it might just come out really good.
Yeah, I think you know how they always say mother is the necessity of invention. And I've spoken to a lot of home chefs actually who and professional chefs who said that, you know, they did start changing things up and altering things in their own recipes too because of a need for it, whether it be
Yeah,
a dietary need or a change in the market or just a change in the trends of foods now that because everybody's gone all plant based.
yeah.
Um, but you know, I think with what you're doing and how it's kind of affected your recipe development, what are also some of the challenges you've had to face with, you know, just introducing these recipes, keeping your brand kind of, you know, relevant and at the forefront of, you know, because we know in Trinidad there's so much competition with food.
Yeah.
You know, what do you think has really helped you deal with the challenges you've had to face, also being a businesswoman?
Um, when it comes to, well, the first part of the question with regards to the introduction of the different aspects of the recipes, um, I think what kind of helps in some to some degree is that a lot of persons are now realizing that they too have food sensitivities as well as allergies. So then the curiosity comes in where they are looking for persons locally because we have all the vegans and stuff, but most of them are overseas. One of the challenges I've faced in that aspect is most of the ingredients you can't find it locally. It's very difficult to find
Yeah.
locally. You can't just go into the grocery and get it. So given that I kind of have a bit of experience with it, I kind of know either where to get some of the items or the substitutes to use that we could find locally. So I find some persons gravitating to me for information with regards to that. Some of them excited about the recipes because I'm a Trini and I don't know much about veganism as it pertains to being a Trini or vegetarianism as it pertains to being a Trini. But now I have someone who kind of has an idea of, recipes and how to tweak it and such. Um, the challenges I realize a lot of people, while there's a sort of a niche market for the vegetarian, vegan stuff, the mass majority of persons are still namely interested in the mainstream things. They're
Mhm.
really interested in the junk food. So doing the stuff that I do, there may not be like a large following for it because most people want to see the fried chicken and the tacos drenched in cheese and all these
Uh,
different things. And that's not really what I do. Um, and people more interested in the fast food at the end of the day. But I still work towards my niche market because I understand the need for this and trying to help persons like myself who are now trying to navigate this allergy sensitivity, veganism, vegetarianism.
yeah, I mean, I completely agree because, you know, I think even with me, everyone initially always asked me, you know, oh, make doubles and make
Yeah,
roti and make
yeah,
all these things. And I was I was originally a nurse in Trinidad, and it was such a difficult thing actually getting people to eat healthier, especially even in my own with my parents. And you know, I was always even looking then at what I could kind of help them easily transition into eating
right,
healthier. And it was always difficult because you know we love the greasy stuff because you know as they always say that's where the flavor is and
right,
you know but I mean for me I think we need to persevere and I think also what you're doing and from everything I've seen on your you know Facebook page from your and this is why I love I think your name food therapy. I
yeah,
really love that's another thing I really like kind of clicked with because it is and you know food is also healing
it is.
so yeah so if we can make it tasty healthy and you know and also meet I guess dietary requirements for people who are gluten sensitive who are vegetarian you know it kind of I think encompasses a lot of different goals we would have for ourselves just not just personally but also as a chef and
Right.
also as a business person in the cooking environment but again, with you, I think, does it feel? I mean, you know, I know I said earlier with Trinidad it's very competitive, but how has it been business wise with your
Is
business?
it right? I think I haven't faced a lot of challenges, namely because even though I'm so invested in the business, it isn't full time yet. I still work full time, and the business is namely part time. So the challenges that I've faced have been based on that. It's been based on the fact that I may not have as much time to do as much as most persons who are fully invested. You know, I see so many people doing recipes on a daily or putting videos on a daily, and I don't have time to do that. I don't have the time to. I swear every noise possible I'm to make it happen. Right. So most of my challenges have been based on the fact that food therapy is actually a part-time business and not a full-time business. I still work full-time. So I don't have as much time as someone who may be, be home for most of the day and able to put out as much recipes and videos or even sell full-time. And I think most of my challenges have been based around that. The challenge of not having enough time, the challenge of maybe not having enough finances to put out exactly what I want to put out.
Yeah.
And
But even though, I mean, I have seen that you are so diverse because I see you offering, not just, I know you were doing the meal prep before. I see you doing these lovely little Valentine's packages for people. I could see this going really far for you. And that actually takes me to my next question. What do you see next for Teri's food therapy?
right now, well, as you may know, we are just sort of easing out of a lockdown period during the pandemic. So it has put kind of a hold on a lot of things that we would have normally been doing during this time. So right now we're just trying to ease back into that, ease back into offering the date nights, because I do offer date night packages where you could order a 3-course meal and have it, on the nights that you want or day. We do have a line of rubs and pepper sauces that we offer. We want to get back into that
I
now
saw
again.
that,
I think
yeah.
we're reopening, offering. We do have sales in between, to keep the customers satisfied. We do have sales in between, so we planning to resume those. And outside of that, I actually have another business with a group of two other entrepreneurs called Romantic Gestures, where we offer the full date night packages where you can have the picnic setup or the at-home
And the
setup. So
music,
that's something that
yeah.
keeps me very busy. We have a couple other things coming up that I can't mention right now, but
Yeah.
yes, it's exciting, all exciting, and I'm hoping that it would probably just bring us up, put us out more out there, so the name people would start recognizing the name more and associating it with just good mood food, good mood flavor.
Yeah, I mean, I think again, I have to mention here that, the fact that you're so diverse and the fact that I think, you do have a different edge to, I think, a lot of different, chefs in Trinidad, people who are doing so much cooking as well, and all the different platforms that people have for cooking, just eating Trinidadian food. I know we talked about the fact that if you just Google Caribbean food, all you see is a lot of like jerk chicken and peas and rice, and there's so much stuff that we still have that people are really not familiar with.
Yeah.
And I think this is something that you are doing, but what I think is great is that you're marrying that with at least keeping an open mind to having different approaches of getting the food out there, and really looking at the market and how you can best supply that market.
Yeah.
So, I am, I'm going to continue to just support you with that because I think it's fabulous. But is there any advice, you can give someone even like myself who's trying to get out there with, just the cooking and the recipes and any home chef actually, or just someone at home cooking? What would you suggest or advise them to do, if they want to try something like this?
Um, I would say is a couple different things. One, most of the time looking at someone else's recipes or using someone else's recipes is namely a guide. You feel free to add your flair, your flavor, because everybody's palate is different. What you may enjoy, someone else may not. So feel free to try something, but at the same time, feel free to also be, daring enough to put a little bit of your spin on it, because
Yeah.
we can't all be carbon copies of each other. Um, Research is also important
Yes.
before you try something new, because don't limit yourself in terms of, especially someone who may be making the switch from a meat eater into a vegetarian or a vegan. there are so many options. You don't have to just box yourself into not all the food is gonna taste like grass or cardboard. It's not all like we
Rabbit
have a
food.
lot of
Yeah.
options, and you can even a lot of Caribbean foods is vegan, and we don't even realize
Yes.
that it
So
is, right?
true.
Corn soup and all these doubles, all these things we eat on
Mhm.
a regular basis. So just be willing to try new things, be willing to do your research and understand what you like. And that will kind of give you an idea of where you should gravitate in terms of, your food identity.
Exactly. Well, I just want to say again, thank you so much for joining me today and sharing these wonderful thoughts and also your experiences. I know I definitely will be seeing you sometime soon because I'm planning a trip home and fingers crossed the borders are open out. So, you're definitely one of the people I'm going to come visit.
Right? I'll be
um,
looking forward to seeing you.
yeah, but thank you so much again for just, sharing this time with us.
It's been
So,
a pleasure.
yeah.
And I hope all you know if there's any background too challenge.
It's part of the spice. It's part of the enjoyment. But thank you so much again, my dear.
Problem. It's been my pleasure.